Hi guys, John here, Common Sense Outdoors. So I want to give some shelter tips, different ways of doing different things. I have just knocked out 3 stakes real quick. I have about 10 feet of the safety orange paracord. I have a rock to put the stakes in. I have a branch with a Y. And I have this tree right here. The reason for the Y is occasionally you'll run into a situation where that's the perfect spot I want to put my shelter, to put my tarp up. Oh, I also have a 6x8 tarp laid out right here behind me. But a lot of times you won't have 2 trees just right. So if you have a 6x8 tarp and you're going to be 6 feet wide with your shelter, and your closest 2 trees together that you can put it between are 12 or 15 feet apart, well, then you're talking about a lot of cordage that you're going to need to put that shelter up, unless you do what I'm going to show you. So just going to go ahead and start throwing it together. I've got this piece to tie the tarp right to the tree. These 2 little pieces, I've just did an overhand loop on each end, bigger loop on one end, small loop on this end. They're for the back corners, and all I'll do is put the small loop through the grommet, run the big loop through the small loop, and that gives me a place to put a stake. So I'll just stake the corners down just like that. You know, I like to do stuff that isn't seen a lot, and a lot of the reason for that is, if I see something on YouTube 100 times, it doesn't mean I'm not going to question it. For example, there's one very popular channel, I'm not going to name names or try to point fingers at anybody, and I like the channel. I've watched a lot of stuff off this certain channel that has a very high number of subscribers. And you know, a long time ago it was said in one of the videos that you needed at least 35 feet of paracord in order to have a ridge line and set up a shelter with a tarp. Well, for starters, if I'm using a tarp with grommets and I'm going to do a wedge shelter, I don't even have to have a ridge line. And the other thing is, if I was wanting a ridge line and I didn't have a lot of cordage, I can just use a pole and tie that. But what I want to show you is with no ridge line. So let's put those at our corners, longer piece for that corner, and we're just going to tie this corner to the tree. Doesn't have to be, whoops, doesn't have to be anything fancy. In fact, I'm going to take it right down, so I'm just going to tie a bow. Okay. And I'm going to get my rock that's hiding under the tarp and take some of my stakes. Small loop through the grommet, run the big loop through the small loop, a stake in it. Get it to where it looks about right. Not sure if you can see me over here or not. I'm just doing the same thing in this corner. Let's see if I was in view. Nope, just barely. Okay, now like I said, I only have one tree here, and this is where I want to put my shelter. So by simply taking this corner of the tarp, doing the same thing, running it through this loop through that loop. Now I can take my Y branch, stick my cordage right through the Y, set that down. I don't think you can see me over here. Okay, so just stick my cordage through the Y, and then whichever way I need to pull this to make my tarp tight, just go out there. Oh, I can actually put that in without the rock. So just that quick, I have lean-to tarp with, what did I say, 10 feet paracord, and with the backlighting back there. Hey, check that out, there's some deer back there. That sun coming through back there is really messing with it. Being able to see. There he is, right in the center. Okay, so anyway, sorry about the wiggle. Just that easy. No ridge line necessary if you're using a tarp like that. And with the orange, the backlighting, you can't see it as well, but the orange paracord makes it more visible. So that's a couple of tips. I mean, you can put up the shelter real easy just by using that branch with a Y on the corner. You don't have to have two trees. If I would have ran over there to that tree, I would have used probably another 10 feet of cord. And it could be done with 2 Y branches if trees are scarce. Alright guys, hope you like it. There's a few tips on setting up a quick shelter. I might actually show another one. We'll see. So, thanks for watching. Thank you for your support. Like, comment, subscribe. We'll see you in the next one.